Okay, hi, Mon.
Hey, DK, I didn't know you were already rolling, man. What's going on, dude?
Because I've been sitting here uploading a video that I can share with everybody, and then we walk up to the doorstep, and what do we find at the doorstep today, Mon?
Somebody's stray cat.
Way better than that. We've got gifts galore. What happened here, everybody?
Goodness.
This is the way to show up for work.
Yeah, this is Michael Johnson said it himself, Mona DK. Also, shout out to whoever sent these gifts. First time in the chat. See? Came over here and got a gift. Your workplace don't give any other podcast don't give you that.
AJ comes in with 10, and for all he knows, we're gonna have a lousy show today. Daniel comes in with 10, and then he was like, nah, I'm going to make it another 10. He does that. And then Barber, who's never one to be trimming or shortchanging any particular process. You like that?
I see what you did there, man.
Comes in with 10, and then 5, and then 5. So, yeah, we're off to a flying start today. For those of you who don't know how to do this, make sure you have accept memberships on or allow gifts on YouTube, and then you can go in and claim yours. I just came back from the Steelers facility, Mo, and have a bunch of updates, all this other stuff. What you got?
I know, man. It's Friday, and I'm looking forward to this game. Great test for this team, man. But I was super excited about the injury report for one particular person. For sure, I was excited about that one, DK.
Yeah, we'll have the latest on Deontay Johnson right from Deontay, and we're going to let you know how 3 of the top 4 corners on the depth chart did not practice today. And there were practice squad dudes taking first team reps at corner. So we'll be getting into all that kind of stuff sometime after Moan does the happy thing over there.
Until I do the happy thing? Okay, all right. Let's stop playing around. We ready. Oh, that's...
Thing is, you don't get do-overs with the bell.
I don't, because you go immediately into start the show.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, that was a terrible bell, man. I feel bad.
You know, the nice thing is, it's only a handful of days until you get your bell, the Casey Kester bell. You want to hear how nice this is going to sound for everybody? Listen to this. Listen.
That's a good bell. They're dogging me now, DK.
And it's happy. Listen to that. You do have the worst bell.
Golly, that was terrible, man. Bing, Jay Hanna ain't feeling it at all, DK. Golly.
Just awful. Deontay Johnson did practice today. He was a full participant. I spoke with him at length afterward, and Deontay assured me up, down, and sideways that he's fine. He said that, and Moan, you can explain this to people, what he meant by this. He said that, he felt a little something. He said it wasn't related to the original injury.
Yeah.
Okay, the original hamstring injury. He said that he felt a little something, and he just went to the coaches and asked, and you know what? And they trusted him because he's a veteran. Is that how that works, Moan? You have to have almost some kind of license to it.
Yeah, you do. I was also one of those players that was afraid to say stuff at times because I never wanted to miss a rep. But when you play a position like he does, and linemen mostly cope with stuff, they'll just make it happen, right? Because we have a specific job. We're not running 100 miles per hour on each play. Deontay feeling something in his hamstring this portion of the season after getting healthy. Coach, hey, man, you trust me, right?
Right.
I got a little something. Go in. Look, DK, is this. Hey, go in. There's no other questions to be asked, DK, behind something like that. You much rather have him and trust his words than to think a guy's trying to get out of practice for any particular way, DK. That ain't how it works, man. And that's what we talk about sometimes when I say these things, like you got to have enough deposits in Coach Tomlin's emotional data bank. That's trust. That's all I'm really getting at.
Yeah, he wanted to show, I think today, he wanted to show Mike Tomlin, listen, I understand that you as a head coach value Friday participation when it comes to starting. I'm not about to put you in an awkward spot. Okay, I'm going to show you that I'm ready on Friday. Let's keep it real. Okay, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you what I got. I'm going to show you that I'm ready to face Jacksonville Sunday at 1:02 p.m. Cam Heyward was a full participant. Do not read anything into that. Okay. Cam was just out there for every drill. It was a good thing. It made people smile. Cam is on a prescribed return thing. If he were to show up on the field Sunday, it would be he's not going to. Okay?
Yeah, no. Cam, this is what you call work and rehab is what Cam got going on right now. The way that injury worked, the same way I'm sure it was with Deontay at practice too with his hamstring. You gradually increase your workload so that strain of jumping back out there
within the practice.
Yes, within the practice. Okay. It's not going to be something that sends you back. Cam being out there is the way rehab should have been done ages ago. So we don't have all these questions about guys being injured and stuff like that to this day. That is what's going on right now. And I just be here, okay? Be glad that Cam is on schedule or maybe even a little bit ahead of schedule with him being out on the practice field. We have been longing to have him at 100%, DK. We have. The run game specifically has been waiting on Cam to get back.
So I have to share because of the Cam and the community thing, because I think people hear this stuff and they wonder, is it real? Do these guys whatever? There was a child watching the practice today, okay, and as players are coming off, they recognize what the situation is. Whether it's I didn't ask whether it was Make-A-Wish or whatever, but they recognize the situation. And individual players, everybody has their own thing, okay. Kenny Pickett, for example, comes over and kneels down with the kid and just has a few words. And then he turns around and he says to him, "Hey, you coming to the game Sunday?" And the kid goes, And it was awesome. All of it was awesome. So I don't mean to weigh one above any of the rest, right?
Yeah.
But Cam comes off and Cam just barks out, "Hey, young man, what's going on?" You can totally picture this.
Yeah, okay? I can.
All right. So I'm going to get you emotional here.
He probably hadn't shaved or nothing, huh? Here he is acting like a cool dude. Go ahead.
He comes off and he's, "Hey, young man," whatever. Okay. And he goes, "How would you like a nice team photo?" And everybody who is within earshot of Cam, and that's a big earshot, comes and huddles around him. And then Deontay goes in front of the kid like this. Okay. It makes for this beautiful, about 15, 16 guys, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, people don't see this side of this football team, of these players, of these athletes, and what they give and how real it is. The funny thing is, you can think, oh, they're doing it because the reporters that are, I got to be honest with you, I don't know that I'm allowed to share everything that I just shared with you because it happened on the practice field, okay?
Yeah.
Not that. It's not that. It's just that's who he is and who they are. Am I right, Moan?
It is, man. And as much hell he causes on the field and to his teammates in practice, the dude is a good human being, man. And more times than not, I know folks don't want to hear about that side of their favorite athletes, or they just want to see them get dubs and win championships. But at DK, what you're saying, there's so much more than what the number 97 is. We're talking about the human being. We're talking about a guy that's carrying on his dad's legacy, that's got his little brother on the team and really loves his mom and wife and kids and stuff, man. That's some cool stuff. And this is what I always did when it came down to whether they're bringing Make-A-Wish kids out there, they have some community projects that they bring in for the practice too. Those little 15 minutes that you have with those kids means the world to them. It's normal for us, right? But for Cam to go outside of his way to do that type of stuff, you got to appreciate it. And that's one thing I've always admired about Coach T. He always made sure, hey, go by, say something, because they chose you. That's how the Make-A-Wish work too, DK. If that was them, if it was that organization, those kids are in very dire situations. Y'all know that. It's Make-A-Wish. You get one or you get some events. They choose to come to a Pittsburgh Steelers practice and a game. Most people want to tell you, take me to Disney, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, the attention that you give to them is phenomenal, and some guys go over and beyond. We always try to make sure we did, whether it was guys getting on the knee, the star guys on the team coming up and signing stuff, having conversation with the parents. I've always loved that about Pittsburgh. That's some real, real cool stuff, DK.
And you, Steelers Nation, have yourself a defensive captain for the ages. Mike Tomlin's probably got the best line I've ever heard about Cam Heyward. He said, that man checks all the boxes.
He does.
And I think that's just so perfect because I'm trying to think of like, all right, what's Cam's big flaw?
Yeah.
What's he got,
Yeah. I got a real big flaw for him. He's a butthole to his offensive lineman in practice. That's his one flaw. Okay. All right, DK. That's what we got going on. All right. You shouldn't ask me. You shouldn't ask.
This is why you tune in to the Ramon Foster show. Lario has become a leader in that group as well, but there's only one captain. And yes, Ironhead would be proud. There's no question about that. We've had other questions here from our viewers about injuries and so forth. Anthony McFarland, somebody asked about him. I'm going to just tell you that Anthony McFarland, we will not know his status until tomorrow. Here it comes from Don Klimko because he's still on IR. So he
got to elevate him.
You got to be elevated to the active participation, and we'll see about that. We'll see about
that. If I was to ask you then, that him being activated means someone has to get clipped, DK. Where? I only want to know a person. Where would that position get clipped at if you're guessing?
Yeah, it would almost have to be somebody at the running back / return position, and they've got some guys that are pretty deep on the depth chart that are already on the active roster.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry about who would be getting taken off of the list there. I got when we come back with the only segment that matters, we're going to open it up with a little bit of a conversation that I had with Deontay today.
All right, let's do that, man.
You guys might like that. All right,
that's the Ramon Hey Moan segment. I'm messing up my own segment right there.
Yeah,
DK. You messed up the question. I messed
totally
up the bell. You messed up the question, DK.
What are the rules?
You see what I'm doing? Also, misery loves company. I'm dragging you down.
You're trying to get me to that level here. I'm not the one that just called Cam a butthole when I'm giving this heartwarming story.
I can't wait to tell him that next week too.
I'm like, I got violins out here. Yeah. People are in. Ramon's thinking, what a butthole.
To one group, though, to the offensive line, what you supposed to be.
Hey, you're humans too, I've been told.
I keep trying to convince people that.
Why am I waving? We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
All right, welcome back to the Ramon Foster Show. It's live. He's in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'm in downtown Pittsburgh. And the Steelers play the Jaguars at 1:02 p.m. Sunday. And according to Deontay Johnson, Deontay will be part of the offense in that game. And he was really emphatic about that. Even was telling me stuff off the record and whatever else, just, where it's not going to, to make sure that I understood how much he meant that he's actually going to play. On that note, here's 1 minute with Deontay. Hope you guys like this. Deontay, when you looked at the film from LA, and I know it had to be good, what did you see? What did you see that you liked that made things open up in the fourth quarter? Because that's what everybody wants to know right now is how did that happen?
It's really what
not magic.
Definitely not magic. It's watching film, knowing what the defense is going to do in those situations, like it was like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 or whatever. We knew what they was going to be in, and we got the right coverage. And you know what I'm saying, I executed the play. Kenny, you know what I'm saying, believed in me, threw the ball my way, and I made the play. Got us in great field position. Jalen ran it in.
And everybody blocked.
Yes, everybody blocked.
It was a beautiful play.
Yes, sir. Everybody did their job.
That's hot. He calls me sir. He does that all the time. He does that all the time. Calls me sir. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
He got good manners. That's more him than you.
Good.
Yeah, that's more him than you.
You know what else I liked about that little
What's
little
that?
line there was that he's talking about execution repeatedly. Execution. Everything is about execution. You don't hear him say, "Well, we had some better play designs." You didn't hear anything about that, did you? He just said, "Look, Kenny threw the ball. I caught it."
Yeah. DK, if we talk good about this offense, man, then it takes away from what Chris got going on. And just because it wouldn't be right to go a day without fire Matt Canada. Because that's the double-edged sword that you're kind of dealing with when you look at guys like Deontay or Najee or Jalen. Anybody brag about how this offense has worked, especially when it comes down to what happened in LA, the explosion plays they've kind of had in the fourth quarter stuff, right? Deontay told you it wasn't magic. It was execution. It was watching this group do their job one by one and just finally connecting. If that's the style of offense, and we got live comments and we're doing a live show right now, DK, if what you saw in the second half of this game from Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett and his offense, what continues on, are you guys okay with that? That's the answer I want to know, DK, because we're doing our show, right? But as fan involvement, can Matt Canada get your grace and forgiveness if he does that style of offense moving forward? But that also, DK, is dependent upon the run game being correct, health of players. You won't convince me, DK, that Deontay being back in this offense is why this offense is potentially going to. We got to acknowledge that. Deontay's a huge part of it because that's another weapon. It's not like you just got to go to George Pickens or hope that Connor Heyward is going to make plays for you or telling the offensive line, hey, block it up. I know it's a 7, 8-man, 9-man box, but give me a yard or two. That's a hard life to live for almost any offensive coordinator, for anybody that's playing that style of offense. If you get that for the rest of this year, does Matt Canada deserve to have his job for the rest of the year moving forward?
I don't think it matters. I mean, he's gonna be the coordinator regardless.
You think even next year, regardless?
Oh, next year, regardless?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
Okay.
I think you're going to need to see a steady and demonstrable improvement. I don't think you need to see the Steelers turn into the Dolphins by week 17, but I do think you need to see something that says, all right, here was a problem over here. The problem was solved. Here was a problem over here. The problem was solved. Okay. Here is an offensive line that really didn't seem to fit the other schemes, but then that problem was solved.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Okay. That's the stuff, these Najee bye-week meetings that Najee's having with the offensive linemen. It sounds great, makes for a fun narrative. It's certainly a good headline for us.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But is it what you want?
Nah, it ain't what you want. You want consistency. Either consistently enough to get fired or consistently enough to win a bunch of games, DK. One or the other has to happen, right?
I want to see Najee focused on running the football that week. I don't want to see him playing amateur coordinator over the course of the week. Frank comes in with a $4.99 gift, and man, the gifts keep right on coming.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, we have where is it down here? John, who came in big yesterday, comes in with 10 more.
You are amazing, man.
On the memberships here. Crystal wants to know, Moan. Hey, Moan. I had to do one of those once in a while. I used to do this for every single question. Hey, Moan! Is there much to be made of Najee Harris versus Travis Etienne? It's the 2021 draft revisited. It is.
It is. Yes, Crystal. Yep. Yes, the hell it is. Okay. Najee's got a head start on him because Etienne ended up missing his rookie year. Right. This is the matchup that both of them want. In these moments, remember, Ben versus Brady. Okay, right, DK? Ben versus Eli. Ben versus Peyton. Drew Brees.
Tell everybody how seriously Ben took that stuff.
Phillip Rivers and Eli?
It never stopped.
I don't know if he'll admit it or say it, but the competitor that I know wanted to bury those dudes.
Yeah.
So if Najee's that type of guy, and that's Alabama versus Clemson, absolutely. They've been matched up with each other since college, maybe even since high school. I want to see Najee go off. And I also want to see this defense of ours, of the Steelers, stop Etienne. Okay? That's the type of game this is. If it does turn into a run game, I like to see Najee come out on top. And I saw somebody ask the questions. Also, the corners for Jacksonville's a little suspect at times. Do I want to see him air it out? Whatever wins the game is awesome for me. But I love to see Najee get about 120, 130.
120 to 130, I got to tell you, out of Najee is a victory.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, forgetting everything else, that's just a flat-out victory. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's fascinating. Jaylen Warren went in earlier last week, I feel like, in that Rams game. Mm-hmm. Are we going to get to a running back by committee style? Just to keep Najee healthy, just to spread it out and keep defenses, on tilt a little bit. Because in order for Najee to get that, Najee needs a lot of reps. And that's the only issue that when it comes down to saying, yeah, Najee, we want you to have 130 yards each and every week. That means you also got to hand that ball off about 25 times to Najee.
Yeah, see, I don't care about that.
You don't? Okay.
No, I'm looking for way more an offense along the line of what we saw late in Los Angeles, which was that you didn't know who was going to get the ball next. Okay, that I really liked. Okay, it doesn't have to be the Le'Veon D'Angelo, Lev gets 2 series, D'Angelo gets the next. It doesn't have to be that. They can alternate plays. I'll say this line again. What are the rules? Okay.
Win the game.
You can interchange constantly. If it looks like that something that Najee did might free up something for Jaylen on the next run or vice versa, go for it, man.
Yeah.
If the defensive line just got stretched out on one play by Jaylen and you think there might be something softer in the middle, go nuts.
Go do that.
Go.
Absolutely. Do that thing right there to help us win. I'm with you.
No, I like that. Justin Work comes in with a contribution of $7.30. Says, I want an old school DK leans back in the chair and says, hey, Moan, what will it be like for the Titans game on the other sideline?
It's going to be a lot of focus because I can tell you guys who are being in the stadium are already tuned in. I'm hoping for a real good experience for myself. Of course, I'm paid to do a job here in Nashville. So you guys know I have to do that job. But, of course, I'll be smirking. I might do this when Renegade is played, just so I can hear the effects of everything. Because I wear noise-canceling cans or headphones.
You have to down there.
I have to. Yeah. So you guys will probably see me broadcasting like this, trying to hear the crowd a little bit because this will be my first time back. DK, I've been saying it a little bit. I hadn't been to a game since I retired, a Steelers game. I did go to the Pitt Panthers game, but I hadn't been in that stadium since I retired for a Steelers game. And I think soon, too, little nugget, I don't think you guys know, but I think they're trying to get the rest of our group up for a particular game. I might drop that nugget real soon. They asked me if I can make it with Al, Pounce, Dave, Gil, and everybody. So I'm going to see if I can drop that nugget on which game that's going to be. That's going to be a good time, and I hate I'm going to miss it.
Mm-hmm. Mommy comes in with 5 gifts. I'd never know how to say that last.
Veganami.
You make it sound like you've said that like 100 times.
It's just me using my college degree, DK. I mean, some people went to the University of Tennessee and some people didn't.
That's right. The ones that would go to the University of Tennessee could definitely pronounce vegan nummy. Hanover Fist comes in with 5 gifts. Who do we have? Tom and Tom here from Ontario, Canada. They're here to ask you a question. They're all like super starstruck too. Look at these guys. It's like,
stop.
Oh my God! It's the pixelated version of Ramon
Foster. What's up, my brother?
Have a seat right here.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, Moan.
How you doing, Tom?
Fantastic. Even better now that I get to sit here with DK and get to maybe have a word with you.
Beautiful spectacles, by the way. I got something similar to that. Nice glasses, man.
My wife will like that. She picks them out.
What see, I was giving you credit. You gave it right to the wife. I guess it's happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah. Hey, so a question I've got for you is well, as players transition out of athletics into other areas of life, what was that transition like for you? Because it seems like you seem to be enjoying life. You've got your hand in some different piles, and just curious to see what that transition would have been like.
Great question. I'm glad you asked that because not a lot of people, think about those things. Because guys do struggle in those moments of getting out of the game. You got to think most people have been playing football or basketball, baseball. since they were 10 years old, at least 10, all the way until they're 30. So that's 20 plus years of you doing the exact same thing. My thing was this, as far as my transition out of it. One, I was planning for it. I knew that door was getting more closed than it was open. So I understood that. And I started doing other stuff, making sure I was good in the media, making sure I was making the right connections, planning for either sports media or something where I can communicate with folks. What helped me transition was this. I was ready to be done. Some people can't let it go. And maybe my story is different from others. I was an undrafted guy, started in the Super Bowl, played a whole lot of games, started the majority of my career in Pittsburgh. So when it was, okay, let's close the door, I was okay with it. Some people struggle with it because, let's say, if I was undrafted and I bounced from team to team, or I was a draft pick and I only did 2 years and I went to another team, you find those guys, especially if they're still in their 20s, early 30s, I can still play. I didn't have that in my mind because I tell people I got my fill out of the NFL. So I was good.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Great work. Love listening to you guys every day.
I appreciate you, Tom. Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Go ahead real quick. Say hi to him.
Tom,
Hey,
too.
Yeah, Tom too, from London, Ontario. How's it going, Moan?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
Good. Been a Steeler fans all our lives.
That's work. I love it.
So my question is, with coordinators, like when you played, you had Munchak and Todd Haley and Dick LeBeau too. And what do you think is better to sometimes if you got to change up like your offense or your defense, to promote from within or to bring a fresh face, like some of the experience that comes from outside, like we did with a Todd Haley and a Mike Munchak.
Yeah.
Also former coaches, coordinators, coaches.
Yeah.
You know, you see that with the Cleveland defense right now with Schwartz.
Yeah, as an outsider coming in.
Yeah, and even Andy Reid brings in Chuck Pagano. Like, do the players react differently to someone coming in rather than a guy that comes in that was an assistant that they worked with a couple of years?
It can work both ways. When the times that we've had people promoted from within, they've proven themselves in that building. That's what a lot of people don't realize is those guys are usually good. They got to get in-game experience or like live experience as far as calling plays, managing a group, being capable of being a leader, being capable of being critical. So you have to learn that. When Coach Haley came in as an outsider, he had to prove to us a little bit. And there was a little bit of resistance from everybody because, like, who the hell are you? Like, all right, prove to us that you can coach us up. What's your method? How do you feel? And honestly, we had a lot of respect for Coach Munch, but it was one of those situations just like, are you as good as you say you are? Because I don't know you. You're asking me to do this and do that, but why? Because this is something we've never done before. So it really does boil down to trust. Whatever they're teaching you, whether it be Coach Haley, Bruce Arians, Mike Munchak, Sean Surratt, whoever that guy may be, what's our trust level like, and does your method work for us? That's always been the case. And if it does, you keep them. If it don't, they get fired.
Yeah. Great insight. Thanks very much, Ron.
Absolutely.
Love watching you. Thank you.
Hey, you guys enjoy your time.
We will. See ya.
No doubt.
All right. It's nice. I only have to remember one name. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom.
Canada, they could not stop. It was just basically an avalanche.
What's that?
Take Canada back to Canada.
You can hear me, Mon?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. All the Canadian flags and Canada jokes. All of the funny people had.
Even Tom were trying to say something about coordinators and stuff, man.
I saw it. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know if they can get Matt Canada across the border at this point. But
there is a story about a Steeler who had to get smuggled across the border at one point in time because his passport didn't come out in time.
That happens in baseball every spring.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah, constantly. Yeah.
Oh man.
The three or four players from the Dominican who are having quote unquote visa issues and getting into Bradenton. Yes, every single year.
Well, same for you, DK. Rodolfo's right. You're gonna get fired. These new these live commenters keep coming in.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in trouble here. We're gonna take a couple of questions here.
I got one for you right quick. Let's start with this one, man, from Wayne. I hadn't seen Wayne in here. Wayne Williams said, "Are we guilty of Calvin Austin malpractice?" Go ahead, DK.
He walked past me today, and that actually crossed my mind. It was like, because I haven't thought about him in a while.
We hadn't talked about him.
Which is not comfortable. I would like to see him get more involved, in part because of Deontay's, injury. I don't know that, you can take it easy on Deontay, a wide receiver who's out there for 65 snaps, has to run 65 routes, or, do, pass blocking and whatever else is involved. But maybe they find a way to take it a little bit easy on Deontay by getting Calvin involved, or maybe they just say, listen, Calvin is, in fact, our number 3 wide receiver. We're going to hit him with some short passes. We're going to let him run.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let him run. Let Calvin Austin run.
Yeah.
With the football.
Yeah.
These should be easy plays to draw up, right?
They should be, DK. And do this is going to be trying to compare him to somebody he's not, man. But do like Mike McDaniels does with Tyreek. Find ways to get him the doggone ball if you have a unique speed guy like that. You think DBs or linebackers or safeties want to chase Calvin Austin speedy self around all game long? No, that is one of those things as a coordinator you got to be cognizant of, right? Putting the ball in your playmaker's hands, especially when they have a very unique skill set like Calvin Austin's. Great question, Wayne.
Yeah, I love Miami's usage of Tyreek, but I also loved Kansas City's usage of Tyreek because you just give Tyreek the ball and just say go.
All right, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we're saying the same thing. You should be doing that thing, right?
Yeah, that's it. Rick is one of the many people trying to be or pretending to be offended by Trevor Lawrence referring to the towel as small.
Yeah.
It's small.
We talked about it 2 days ago, I think. I played into it because I'm into finding bulletin board material at any time. I like it. I hope whoever sacks Trevor Lawrence this weekend does this over his body. That's cool.
Jeez,
I like that. I'm petty like that. I'm petty like that, DK. Absolutely.
Have the towel in the back pocket.
Yeah. Put it right in your sock, DK. I'm petty like that. Nah, that was good.
You guys can find it wherever it is that you want.
But you know how we're wired, though, right? You know how we're wired, especially if Renegade gets played. If he gets sacked on Renegade, come on, those towels will fly, DK.
We have lost all context for the word clickbait. Trevor Lawrence was the one who described the towel as small. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a website. Trevor Lawrence isn't trying to get clicks on his website. We just now say clickbait for every issue that sounds like something people would talk about.
I got another 2 words for you. You know what they are already. Fake news.
Well, I mean, he said it, but even when he said it, I thought that was actually kind of cool. I like when people from other teams recognize things that are uniquely Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's because he want to be us, man. It's cool, DK.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna get a taunting penalty for that, you might get taunting and a half. That might be a 30-yarder.
I was about to say I don't care about that, but I know Coach T is gonna rip somebody's face off if they get another taunting penalty. But I'm into that though. He just have to find me. He just have to find me on that one.
Yeah, it is what it is. People are trying way too hard.
Evan put it up there. Said, nah, media-wise, he complimented us, but it went sideways.
It doesn't matter.
Evan.
It doesn't matter.
That's the thing. It don't matter.
No, at all. Tyler has a good football question for us. Can we do some rapid fire here? Let's do it.
Let's knock this out. I think we got
10 minutes. Ready? All right, here it goes. Hey, Moan, do you expect the Steelers to ever involve the tight ends more in the passing game? I get that Pat Freiermuth is out, but that play to Connor Heyward last week got them down to the 3. That was beautiful.
That has its place. You got to be able to set up those tight end routes. No tight end of ours right now is the premier pass catcher. Even Pat's not the premier pass catcher. I think we look at him and say he has the potential to be, but I don't think he's premier. He's a part of the offense. Even Heath Miller, most years I think it was like maybe 600, 700 yards. That's our style of ball. This isn't Kansas City. Simply put.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get a Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski type here, even if he were to fall into your lap.
I don't think so.
It's just there's too much that's asked of the tight end from a blocking standpoint and so forth. But you need to mix it up, and you do need to throw over the middle. Go ahead.
I got one. Here we go. Great question, by the way, Tyler. This one's going to forever come up. Hey, Moan is what he said. If not this week, when would Deontay Johnson find the end zone?
Oh, that still hasn't happened?
I hate to even say, Kev, but does it matter when we scored as many points as we have all year by having him out there last week? He moved the chains for you, man. You know who else didn't do really good at scoring touchdowns? Julio Jones, AJ Brown. AJ Green. He was another red zone guy that didn't get in, or a touchdown guy that didn't get in, man. If he gets me 1,000 yards with 2 touchdowns on the season, I'll take it.
Deontay needs to get you down the field, okay, more than anything else, and I think to an extent, it feels like this streak isn't really a streak. I mean, I look at that big play that he had last week, and he's one turn away from making that into a monster 6 points. Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about? He catches it, and then he ran down the left sideline, and he kind of lost his balance a little bit, and it took him out of bounds. Frank says Kenny needs stress early in the game. Start out scripting up tempo, or dare I say 2-minute urgency. Does that work, Moan? If you go out there for the first drive of the game in tempo?
I told you the thing about tempo is this. You got to have a guy that's experienced enough to know where he's going with it, because you get those quick 3 and outs, it kind of throws you off. It messes up the defense a little bit more, and you kind of air out your defense more than you should in those moments. I do agree he needs a level of anxiety that he's playing with to commit to execution. A great player finds a fine mix of anxiety, calmness, and just being locked in. And that's what Kenny needs more than anything. The plays ain't bad, as you can tell. It's a matter of him executing for the most part. I don't want to make an excuse for him. That tempo stuff is cute, but you got to have a quarterback that's capable. And I'm not sure if Kenny is there just yet.
Antonio Jackson has a question. I'm actually going to hijack this one from you, Moan.
All right, go ahead. I like it.
He says, do you see the inside linebackers having another game like they did against the Ravens? First of all, the inside backers were actually pretty good in Los Angeles, too. I have something to share with you. I'm going to my phone here on purpose.
Uh-oh. Look at you. Big tech guy over here now, man.
Nah, this is the anti-tech.
Oh, okay.
Cole Holcomb said something hilarious to me, and I wanted to save it. I just wanted to save it for all time. This was today. I was asking him something about, because I'm doing this game day column on how the linebackers have learned to work with each other with each passing week, right?
Okay.
And before it was all just chaos, whatever else here. This is from number 55. I told them, don't let me figure it out, because when I figure it out, it's going to be dangerous.
Oh, from Cole? Hey,
he was just referring to the Steelers' style of play. He was just like, it was going to take him some time. It was going to take Quan Alexander some time. It was going to take Landon Roberts some time. And they've had that time now, and they've had those snaps, especially Cole. He's a 3-down guy, and they've gotten the job done professionally, but also aggressively. And that's your ILB.
That's some good stuff right there, DK.
That's why you save that. I save stuff like that in my texts.
He said, don't let me figure this thing out. That is such a good place to be, because you know what that means? He's understanding it, and the game is slowing down to him. And all he got to do now is relax and play ball, DK. That's some real good stuff. I saw what I think you had starred, DK. No, I had this one.
Well, Ryan Lytle comes in first with 10 gifts. It's always appreciated. Ryan Lytle, a great friend to the show.
Definitely is, Ryan. You're a saint, man. Seriously. Blake goes, hey, Mon, how much of a air quotation marks for the people listening and driving and watching the road is Coach Tomlin when a guy commits a big penalty? Cheerleader. That is such a I love and hate that term.
There's all kinds of derisiveness there.
It is. And it came from friggin' what's his name? Old quarterback that was around for a while. Terry Bradshaw. I'm sorry to disrespect him like that, but Terry Bradshaw kind of started that. I don't want a cheerleader as a head coach comment, and people just kind of ran with it.
Well, I'll say it. It was trash.
It was, he called him a cheerleader.
Somebody who's part of the Steelers family, at least,
but never comes around.
At least when he feels like it, is what I was going to say here, right? But who has his name on 4 Super Bowl, championship lists with his team? It was a garbage thing to say.
Blake, but I'll say this. In moments of the game, Coach T understands because he played the game too. In moments where it's just stupid, that if y'all want to know a cheerleader or what is he like in those type of big penalty moments, there's a clip floating around on X or Twitter or Instagram that shows him grabbing a first-year or second-year Marquise Pouncey. You know what I'm talking about, DK? Mm-hmm. Hey, man. Hey, why you busy over there fighting? We losing clock. Why you busy over there fighting? This is bigger than you. Like, go look at that clip when you ask that question about is he a cheerleader? It's never that. It's perception.
This is bigger than you is such a good line.
Oh, he humbled Marquise right there. I saw it and I still cringed because I was like, dang, he talked bad to my dog. But as a coach, you better talk bad to your guys every once in a while to let them know that, look, we in this thing for something way bigger than what you got going on personally.
One thing I've learned to respect about all major league coaches and managers across sports is that they find ways to say a lot by saying very little when they communicate. This is bigger than you. Hits you 7 different ways, all of which hurt. It's like no matter who you are, there's even a Marquise Pouncey, you could say that too.
He body pounced that day, and I think their respect factor went through the roof on that one, man.
Yeah, Randy says after Terry's warm welcome back to Pittsburgh, I'm surprised who cares?
I'll say this, and DK, you feel the same way about reporters.
No feeling about this guy at all. Go ahead.
For former players or reporters and media that criticize guys of teams they're related to, or either they cover daily or whatever the case may be, none of that matters unless you walk in that locker room. Unless you're man enough to go face the music of what you said about dudes, it don't matter. Terry Bradshaw sits behind that desk every Sunday and do his thing. Not once does he go in that Pittsburgh locker room.
All those other reporters,
I know.
He's a big phony. Couldn't care less.
But that's why his
word talking about
don't mean a lot. I just needed clarity on that, man. Go in that locker room first.
Let's be real clear on this, too. Bradshaw is the second best quarterback in team history. Okay? Second best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite the 4. Yeah.
The other guy had him beat on virtually every category, including longevity. The only thing he didn't have was 4 Super Bowls. Instead, he had to go and get 2. But that's okay. And here, I'm going to say this in both directions. I don't care what Bradshaw said about anything. I care about Mean Joe Green. I care about Mel Blount. I care about the guys who have remained part of the family. Okay? They have, to me, look, hey, let's put it another way, Moan.
Go ahead.
Remember after the game in Minneapolis? When the Steelers couldn't run the ball,
Mr. Green,
they couldn't defend they couldn't defend the run. Mr. Green spoke up. What happened? The heavens shook. Okay, because that cut to everybody's soul. Okay, your head coach, who never, ever, ever acknowledges what he refers to as noise or criticism from the outside, couldn't do this in this case because why? Mr. Green
spoke up.
And he's not on the outside.
No.
Okay? Any damn time he pleases, he walks into that stadium and right into the center of your room.
Yep.
As if the 75 is still hanging there. 12 didn't do that. 12 doesn't do that.
No, he does not. Let me go real quick, DK, to that one too. Him saying this is so backhanded to Kenny too, because all it is, he's hoping it's another quarterback that don't break all his records.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
He's saying, he's perfect for these guys because they don't really want anybody who's dynamic.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Never said that about Ben, though.
No, we did. And that was the other portion too. I think he don't like 7. So there's a lot of let me praise the guy behind him so that I can talk bad about him. That is hilarious.
Give 12 out to a practice squad quarterback next year. See if he has a reaction.
You idiot.
Scout team quarterback.
You are an idiot.
Hodge comes in and says, with a $5 contribution, and says, after Deontay Johnson's big play early, and then George Pickens gets flagged for the block, Coach T walked onto the field and had a chat with both while the refs were figuring out that call. Yeah, he put his arm around them like this and talked to them and just had some things to say. Now, George, we haven't talked about that play. That block, that was the Juju block, the Hines Ward block that they've taken out of the game. It's still, though, man. I mean, it's not blindside. They call it a blindside block, but you're hitting them from the front.
He blocked them out like basketball, man. That's what I thought it was too. And here's the thing too. If Hodge, if you wanted Coach T to rip guys, Deontay and George on that play too, like he did Pounce and other guys, you coach different players. You coach each player differently. So he might have to put his arm around Deontay and George, and he popped Marquise in his chest to talk to him. Same message was given, no, okay? But, yeah, that peel back block, though, man, negated what Deontay did. He didn't really have to, but I didn't think it was a bad block by George either. He's a physical guy, and I love that about him.
Hand over fist. Want some Sunday scores here. Let's go.
Sunday scores, DK. Let me get a reference real quick for this weekend, man. The Jags, they've won well. They're averaging about, 24 games?
Yeah, they are. It's
25?
4 in a row, and they've put some points up, and they've done it in a diverse way. It's been impressive.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to call out and say, DK? We cracked 30 this weekend.
The Steelers?
Offensively.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
The ones who play in Pittsburgh.
31-17.
You have the Steelers scoring 31 points.
31-17, DK.
And you expect people to still watch this show again Monday?
31-17.
I love it. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm going, right?
My feeling about this game in a very general sense is that there's going to be a lot of burden on Kenny to get things done. They're going to have to put the ball up because Jacksonville does defend the run well, and Jacksonville is going to do what the Rams tried to do and did early in the game in Los Angeles, which is let's just going to stack the run. We're going to stack against it. We don't want you to run. We're going to challenge number 8 to beat us. We don't think he can. That's what it's going to be.
I see a lot of pushback. All of you anti-30 folks, I can't. It's Monday. I'll hold this up when we see about 31 points, okay? Just so you know. And I appreciate it too, DK. Bold, Randy. You're right. Look at the bless your hearts.
That's right. That's right. That's how it's coming in here. Now you got some there's some strong feelings about this. There's also a fair amount of people picking Jacksonville. Bob Schreiner, of course, is always wants you to get specific. You're talking about 4 touchdowns and a field goal. That's what you're talking about, Bob wants to know.
I didn't say how. Do I have to specify? Because we're not talking about the devil of the detail here, okay? Because if we get a pick 6, that's still 31 points.
Yancey's pointing out that you're going to have to be in the range of 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. You're going to need some big plays to do this, okay?
You're saying we can't. I know we hadn't seen it.
I'm saying it's been since the turn of the decade since we've seen it. That's what I'm saying.
31.
You know, it's been a long time.
Book it.
You know?
Book it, DK.
Another way of looking at this, Christopher says, how big would a win be? Getting over the hump, peeling off some W's.
That's what I'm saying. Chris, I'm with you. By the way, Chris, we got to get you away from that uncle table.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Also, we had useless knowledge over here from the 904 say, hey, why ain't I green? That's because you hadn't unlocked the gifts. There's been numerous given out today.
I think that was a Kermit the Frog song.
Was it really?
No. Because he already was green. The joke just totally died. Like halfway out of my mouth, it just died.
That was terrible, DK. Come on, man. It's Friday. You should be better than this.
Yeah, I think we should end it here as a result.
We should, yeah. You're not going to get much better than that. And we got to turn useless, green.
Yeah, not much. Oh, yeah, useless has to become green.
Terrible.
All right, guys. That's all. Bye. You see the offense busting out, even with Deontay showing up in parentheses.
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's
Home
impressive.
game, DK. Let me say this: it's on hope too, and it's based off Kenny. Kenny has the ability to throw the ball down the field a little bit. I see that being the case, and the fact that they're probably going to try to force his team to not run it, that means there could be more plays down the field. I'm a believer they're capable of it. If he's confident enough, and it looked like he had a little bit of that in the game, of spinning the ball down the field, DK, that's not far-fetched, not even. And I know you know that. We just hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I think the main thing here is if the lesson that can be learned, if you're paying attention, meaning if you're the coordinator and you're paying attention, is from Los Angeles, is that they spread the Rams out. And as a result, they were able to do a little bit of everything. From there, because now the Rams were out of sorts. Now they couldn't just lock in on one area. Okay. Well, you have to make that happen in the first quarter rather than in the fourth. Throw them off. Show them something they're not used to seeing. Knock off this crap about we need to establish the run.
Yeah. I'm with that too, DK. And they might not have an option, other than to spin the ball, other than to get some control tempo. Be at the line of scrimmage. To check with me's, man, is where you start cooking. You hear me? When you can get a quarterback and send his group to the line of scrimmage and have them in those check with me moments, that's where you get some tempo without having to be in no huddle. You just make the defense show you what they're doing. Okay. That's where, when I say, is Kenny capable of doing some stuff? It's getting to the line of scrimmage. Hey, red 80, hot. Easy. Look over to the sideline, wide receiver, get their signals and stuff like that. Hey, O-line, protection, 76. And then you go. That's because we've undressed the entire defense. That's the growth we're looking for from Kenny. And honestly, that's unfair. That's an unfair expectation because that's what we saw Ben do. Ben grew into that. Let's be honest. Ben was helped by a really good defense and a very veteran team early on. So he had time to go grow, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's been thrown into the fire with the expectation this thing needs to be pumping right now. But Kenny does have to grow fast. I'm not off blaming Kenny for some of the stuff that's happened over with this team the last however many games he started, year and a half that he started right now.
Roy Baldwin has the best idea of all, and this is where we're going to end for the week. 30 points just put up fourth quarter on the Acrisure Stadium scoreboard for all fourth quarters. I love it. It's right there under QTR. Just have a digit 4.
That's a way to end right there, Roy.
Could you imagine the referee having to do the call upstairs? The scoreboard operator, please reset the clock to the first quarter, not the fourth. Very funny, guys.
They would explain it like that too. Hey, if that's what it takes, I'm here for it, man.
Oh, no. We're projecting now. If we beat the Jags 12-4, easy there, easy. Steelers, by the way, are 11-4 over their last 15 games for all the misery and woe.
Imagine that.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
Imagine that. Yeah, useless. If you come in here more often, man, and not deal with other stuff during the time that we're on, the show ends, but it doesn't. This is post credits.
No, it doesn't. It ends when this man says it's time to end because he's the puppeteer. He's pulling all the strings in the background, just like
Glenn
in real
Thomas
life.
is calling all the plays now. DK.
No, only the good ones.
Only. You used to be better than this, DK. You used to. I'm gonna be honest. There was a time where you were better than this. Not anymore, man. It's probably because it's Friday.
All right, guys. We'll do it again Monday. And then next week, remember, is Ramon Foster week here in Pittsburgh. And we'll be keeping everybody up to date as soon as we have more specifics on how we're going to handle the Wednesday before the game here downtown.
Yeah, no doubt. Y'all be safe, man. Have a random conversation. Call somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Love each other. And pray for one another too, man. Buy somebody a random beer. Be safe. Make it back to us on Monday with a dub. Peace.